Hello there, dear friends, and welcome once again to the Relaxed Fantasy Review. On this channel, we spend our time looking at fantasy of all sorts, from books to movies to video games, and applying the characters within into the tabletop game Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition. Today, though, we're going to be looking at a core mechanic of D&D itself, specifically one of the most classic archetypes of the Warlock out there, the Fiend Warlock. Warlocks that swear their fealty to a fiend, usually a demon lord or a devil of some kind, they are given a myriad of powerful abilities. This is literally the sell your soul to the devil warlock. And how does that look? Well, let's find out. As with all warlocks, you get an expanded spell list. You aren't granted these spells automatically, you still have to choose them, but the availability of them is there, giving the warlock's minimal spell list a needed boost. And these spells are a great list. Burning Hands, Command, Scorching Ray, Fireball, Wall of Fire, Stinking Cloud, Fire Shield, a great list. I give it a 9 out of 10 overall. You also get a power called the Dark One's Blessing right away at level 1. When you reduce an enemy to 0 hit points, you gain temporary hit points equal to your Warlock level plus your Charisma modifier. Assuming that you've built your Warlock with a min-max mindset, and you've pumped your Charisma, which pretty much every Warlock should do, you could have a modifier of 3, and right away at level 1, that means every enemy you kill, reduced to 0 hit points, gives you like 4 temporary hit points, which only goes up with time. That's like half the hit points you're going to have as a Warlock. It's pretty good. So, not bad. I give that power a 9 out of 10. It's a great little buff to your health, and if you're the one who's doing the killing, which Warlocks often are, you're going to be getting these all the time. Next up, at level 6, is Dark One's Own Luck. Once per rest, you can call upon the luck of your patron, giving you an extra d10 on an ability check or a saving throw. You can't use this to power up your attacks, but saving throws can really be make or break when you're a Warlock who is a little squishier than most people. And if it's an ability check, you really are going to nail that one time that you need to get something right. A d10 is very respectable, way better than a guidance spell, for example. So, 9 out of 10. It sucks you can only do it once per rest, but it's going to make that one time matter more than anything. Then, at level 14, you gained Fiendish Resilience. When you take a short or long rest, you choose a damage type. It can be any damage type, except for magical damage. You can't be resistant to magical weapons in general, but you can be resistant to fire, or cold, or lightning. You could be resistant to piercing, or bludgeoning, or slashing. So if you know you're going up against a bunch of archers, piercing is a good thing to pick. If you know you have to fight a specific enemy that uses a specific type of weapon, pick that weapon, or any type of dragon or sorcerer. Really, take your pick, and it's fantastic. Fiendish Resilience, magical weapons and silvered weapons resist this, but you can change it. You can change this every time you rest. This is fantastic. It is an ability that is only limited by your foresight. If you don't know what you're fighting, pick a weapon type. Pick slashing or piercing, and just hope they haven't silvered their weapons, and you'll probably be fine. And if you know what you're going up against, choose that. This is 10 out of 10 right now. This is fantastic. Then, finally, at level 14, you gain the Hurl Through Hell power. This is a once per long rest power, so this is something that you can only use once per day. But when you hit a creature with an attack, any attack, you can choose to hurl the creature through the lower planes, taking them on a ride of terror and fire and all these other horrible things, they disappear, and then they reappear the next turn, and they take 10d10 psychic damage from this experience. There's no saving throw, and there is no need to do any sort of extra roll or spend any sort of extra feature. This just happens when you attack them and choose to send them through hell. Even at 14th level, 10d10 psychic damage is significant. And the fact that they can't resist it, legendary resistance doesn't save anyone. You could do this against the boss. You could do this against the final boss of your campaign. They can't do a damn thing about it. And once per day, if you really need to kill someone, like for sure, just hit them with an Eldritch Blast and do this. I mean, it's 10 out of 10. This is a great power, once again. And that's it. The Fiend Warlock is not super complicated, but man, it has so much power. Extra damage, extra powers of resistance, extra ability dice, extra temporary hit points, the fiery spells. It does it all. And I give this Warlock a high 9 out of 10. It was just like this close to getting a 10 out of 10, but it's a fantastic subclass, and I highly recommend it for anyone who's trying to really burn and blast their enemies, and who wants to be that devilish, scary creature. The Fiend Warlock is for you. This has been the Relaxed Fantasy Review. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe down below, and keep your eyes peeled for more subclass reviews coming down the line soon. Have a good one, my friends.